Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Hey guys, Bix Weir, road2ruta.com. It is here, the World Silver Survey for 2024. Woo, woo, woo. This is the #1 publication on this little planet Earth that tells you all about silver supply and demand. As you know, I've been researching mainly silver used in solar panels, but also silver used everywhere else, as well as how much silver is being dug out of the ground. So here's what I was looking for. At least a number of 350 million ounces, which would shock the world, obviously. Last year's number was 140 million. Keep that in your mind. 140 million was what the Silver Institute, that upstanding organization with numbers from Metals Focus, they keep passing the buck to who's really in charge. Anyway, so I get it this morning. I haven't gone all through it. And this is going to be short. I'm going to do a big, long analysis for the private road members at Road to Ruta. But let's take a look. This is a beautiful cover. Look at that. If you want to get this information, and here's the scary thing, it's all on the Silver Institute's website under Silver Institute Publications World Silver Survey. You can get all the past years, and I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt because I talked to the head of the Silver Institute and I talked to the head of Metals Focus, both of them. And I'm like, how are you guys going to get around this problem? Because what you said, your numbers for solar were still 140, and you didn't give anybody any clue on the planet that those numbers had doubled, more than doubled, even though everybody in the solar industry knew that. So here we go. You're not going to like this. Actually, I start off really strong because at the very beginning is a letter from the Silver Institute chairman of the board, the chairman of the Silver Institute. This guy, Phillips Baker, is the CEO of Hecla Mining. And I'm like, all right, here we go, right? I've heard this guy talk, and he was talking about 300 million ounces of solar silver just recently, like 2 weeks ago. The obvious number, it's low, but it's still obvious. And he starts off with a letter saying, kind of pushing it off to, we work with Metals Focus. It's Metals Focus's fault. But listen to what he said. Second, silver is an essential and critical metal for the future, especially in green energy applications. Globally, solar is the fastest growing of all sources of renewable energy, with about 440 gigawatts, it should be gigawatts DC, installed in 2023. Because silver is a key component in photovoltaic cell, this is one of the fastest growing uses of silver. Absolutely, up 76% last year. Bravo, bravo to Mr. Phillips Baker. Good job. The chairman of the board says, hey, we did 440 gigawatt DC. And now it's just a math thing. It's just a math thing. And how could the Silver Institute get it wrong? They can't, right? So I go right to the page where it lists out everything. And guess what? Photovoltaics, right here. 193.5 million ounces of silver, according to the Silver Institute, was used in photovoltaics. And they say that's a jump of 64%. Now, if you think about it right off the top of your head, you're going, maybe Bix got it wrong. Maybe, 76% isn't far from 64%, right? Maybe Bix got it wrong. No, I didn't get it wrong. This is fake news. Fake news. And I'm going to show you why. In 30 seconds of comparing the two sides, last year's silver survey and this year's silver survey, look how many mistakes I saw. Can you see that? Almost every other number has been changed of the history. It is not 64%. You know how they get 64%? Look what they write for 2022. They said they came up with 118 million ounces for 2022. So they went, that looks like a huge jump, 118 to 193. So 2022, let's go back to 2022. This is the last year's silver survey, 2022. Wait, that's 140. How could 2 years ago jump from 140 to 108 or drop to 118? Because they needed that percentage to look higher. So what did they do? They went back and changed history. That actual percentage of what they said, the 193, and I've been screaming this. There's no way they can get away with this shit. That's a 38% growth in silver used in solar. How on God's green earth can the Silver Institute say that there's only a 38% growth in solar silver when last year, solar did 76% more than the year before? Here's how they do it. Pure fraud. Every single one of these solar's numbers have been adjusted. This is worse than the CPI numbers. This is pure fraud. This is fake news. The Silver Institute publishes fake news. Metals Focus publishes fake news. It's all fake news. They even changed mine production to make it look different. They key in on the percentages. So if we hear that solar went up 76%, which of course their chairman of the board right here, Philip Baker, that's exactly what he says. 440 gigawatts, that's 700 or 76% growth. They figured we can change the numbers. Nobody looks at it, right? It'll say 64% instead of 38%. That's closer to 76. We can get away with that. We can get away with that. What does that remind you of? We can get away with that. That's the U.S. Mint. When the head of Silver Eagle Sales, Jack Sermon, told me, it's still recorded on the road to the website, that Ventures Gibson, the head of the Mint, told him, don't make any Silver Eagles. He said, I can't do that. And she said, make as few as Silver Eagles as you can get away with. The Silver Institute is fake news. This is illegal in U.S. commodity law, by the way. Rust and Benham, wake your ass up. Go to the Silver Institute. It is illegal to publish data that skews the public perception of what the hell's going on. Well, they're not in a COMEX position. They don't trade on the COMEX. My friends, this is fraud. You know why? Because everybody's going to quote these numbers everywhere around the world for silver, and they're going to quote the wrong numbers. And not only that, every other number in the entire thing has been changed for history to make it look like there's nothing going on in silver. This is embarrassing fake news from the Silver Institute. This guy, Phyllis Baker, better say something. He runs a frickin' mining company, one of the largest silver miners in the world. And he's publishing fake news about silver. If you have any shares of Hecla, tell everybody, sell every single share of Hecla you have. That's fraud. Somebody owning shares of Hecla, sue that damn company. Because the CEO is publishing fake news on silver. This is the worst thing you can possibly do to your own industry. He is destroying his own industry. They need to recall this report and try again. And what other companies are doing the exact same thing? Well, let's look at the sponsors. There's the two criminal organizations that wrote this fake news. Look who's sponsoring these guys. Asahi Refining, Quarterly Mining, Endeavor Silver Corp, Fresnello, Gaddis Silver, Glencore, Hecla Mining. If you own any of these shares, you better sue the crap out of them for supporting an organization that puts out illegal fake news. This is just so embarrassing. Either these companies are in on it, in on the con, or they're just really stupid. Hochschild Mining. I've done research on them. That goes back to the bloodline families, by the way. Sprott. Oh, my God. Really? Eric Sprott is in on this con? Everybody contact Sprott and say, what the hell? What the hell are you supporting this illegal institution for? These numbers are fake. They're fraud. They are purposefully deceiving the entire industry, destroying jobs, destroying lives. And Eric Sprott is in on it? Come on, Eric. It's just embarrassing. Well, I'm going to do more research on this. I mean, what do? It's fake news. They've already started to... Silver demand rose 11% to post a new record. You're like saying, wow, 11%. Try 25%. It's all lies. It's all lies that they can, quote, get away with. And then it's being quoted all over the place. And it ends up with stuff like this. India drags global demand for silver lower with silver offtake. All this is bullshit. It's all lies. 100% lies. And then what does the silver price do? Probably nothing. I haven't even looked at it today. Up 49 cents. Why do you think silver's under $30? Why do you think silver's under $300? It's because this entity, this report, has been lying for decades. John Williams' shadow stats, the CPI con, well, he's like, inflation is twice as much as they're saying. He would have a field day on this, but it's so bad, historically so bad, you can't go back and change numbers you already lied about. And give no explanation in the report that I've seen of why all the numbers have changed. Historical numbers that people have, they've made their bets in the markets, they've made their bets by going to a mine and trying to open a mine, thinking, oh yeah, the silver story is amazing. How many billions of dollars are they costing the entire market, the miners, the smelt, everybody? And the worst is that it is going to hide the fact that we are misallocating silver into solar panels. And one day it's going to stop, and the Silver Institute will just walk away with these crimes. They are distorting free markets, which is why all this silver is being sucked up by China and India to never come back to the market. You want to know how gold-silver ratio is going to get down under 10, under 1? It's because frauds like this, people are wasting silver like you would not believe, and one day it'll be 100% gone. Unobtainium, as Cliff High calls it. And this is the reason. Fake news from the Silver Institute. Fake news from Metals Focus. And if they have a problem with what I'm saying, come on the road to Ruta. Let me interview you. I'll go on your channel. I'll do a live debate with you. You tell me, with a clear conscience, how silver can go up 76%. I mean, solar can go up 76%, and silver only go up 38%. When TopCon, a bigger silver consumer, is even more than ever before. And this year it's going to be double that, and they're going to say it again. Look what we project 230. It's going to be 500 to 600 million ounces this year. It's already had a huge start in India and China. Huge start for solar. And China's the only one that matters, really. They did half the production last year. They're going to double production again this year, and the Silver Institute's going to sit there and say, oh, nothing going on here. Look over there. Look over there. As you can tell, it pisses me off. Anyway, Bitcoin halving coming up. Do I expect anything? No. They started a Bitcoin ETF. They're looking... Gary Gensler and Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell, Rustin Benham, they're all looking to destroy Bitcoin. So they're going to sell off the Silk Road Bitcoin right as the halving comes. That's our world now. That's the Biden administration. It was the Trump administration too. Trump was even just better at it than everybody else. Of course Trump rigged the markets. The only thing Trump did good was take down JP Morgan for a brief period of time by showing the world that they were rigging the silver market. What do you do? How do you fix this? There's only one way to fix it. Gobble up all the physical silver you can handle. Get more and more and more. Swap cryptos for physical silver. If you want a free market in Bitcoin, you need to destroy the banks first. And only silver can do that. Cryptos can't do that, obviously. Anyway, Bitcoin halving's coming up. If you want to learn about it, go to iShares BlackRock. They'll tell you all about it. Are you kidding me? ETFs are set up to destroy the markets, to dump the real thing onto the markets. They're hedged, as Jeff Curry of Goldman Sachs says. The shorts are the ETFs. We have it on YouTube. Him saying that to CNBC. The shorts are the ETFs. BlackRock is shorting Bitcoin, is shorting all the authorized participants. They are shorting it. They're putting their real assets supposedly in this ETF and then shorting it, claiming it's a legit short. Well, then who owns that Bitcoin? Who owns that silver? It's supposed to be the shareholders, but it's not. It's a con. Anyway, on a good side, smashing Bitcoin makes all the cryptos go down because they trade in pairs. So Theta, I hear, is under $2 again. Keep it going down. I'll buy even more, like everybody. 14 days until the biggest release in cryptos, probably in history. Nobody's even thinking about it. The Theta Edge Cloud comes out. Partnership with Google, by the way. Google knows that the future is decentralized cloud storage, decentralized computing, and AI. Reinventing AI, GPU as currency of the future. And nobody knows it. So, hey, on Road to Ruta, my job is to show you what I think are the best asset investments. It's not advice, just a little point. Hey, look, take a look over here. Do your own homework, especially in silver, but don't read the silver survey if you want real homework. After talking to those guys, I could just chalk it up to pure fraud now. I explained how to do it, and they agreed, and yet they're coming in half of where they should be. That's pure fraud. Anyway, also these Theta ENN booster nodes. If you run your own node, you're going to earn a lot more T-fuel, which is pretty cool. This guy has T-fuel ratio should be 5-to-1. I think it's like 30-to-1 right now or something like that, 25-to-1. I like having 50-50 of them. 50-50 T-fuel, 50-50. Because it's, there's so many different scenarios you can run. I love the 7% staking that you get in T-fuel. I think T-fuel is going to be needed for all the applications. Like, for example, the Edge Cloud. Every single transaction is going to need some T-fuel. All these companies that are going to be building blockchains on the subchain for Theta, all those transactions are transacted in T-fuel. So there is an argument for T-fuel, and then all the the new subchains and airdrops come to Theta. So it's kind of like, okay, what do you want? It's too hard to figure out for me. I go 50-50. Anyway, that's where I am. For private road members, I'll be getting on this. This is pure fraud. This is fake news. So the Silver Institute and Metals Focus, let's just stick with the cover man, Silver Institute. And Phillips Baker, the CEO of Hecla Mining, is in on the con, even after he said just a couple weeks ago, there's 300 million ounces of silver used in solar panels. That's what he said in an interview on Kitco News with Matt, I forgot the guy's name. And so 300 million to, it really is shocking. 193, and this number was changed last year, 2022, to 118 from 140, just so that it can look closer to 76%, which is actually 38%. It's fraud. Somebody should look into it. But what regulator would, right? Our country, our financial markets have been bought and sold for so long, we don't even know our ass from the hole in the ground. Perfect visualization for the Silver Institute fake news. This is Bix Weir. Go to roadtoroad.com for more information. Subscribe today. I'll be talking about this on the private road a lot and pointing out. I'm going to go through every single one of these numbers and show, at least, in solar, every single number was changed. You can't change historical numbers, and they didn't say anything about it. And it's all for one reason. Tamp down the excitement about silver. Go get yourself some physical silver. Go to your local coin shop. It's the only way to win. Get physical in your own possession, and one day it will become unobtainium. And silver going into India, the first quarter was the largest. It was bigger than last year. Shh, don't tell Metals Focus. Imports of silver into India, the first quarter this year was bigger than all of last year. They're on track to do probably 600 million ounces of silver imports this year. How could you say that, Bix? There's not 600 million ounces in the world. I know there isn't. So one day, silver will go from $29.99 to infinity. You can't get it. I don't care if you have $10,000 to pay for an ounce. You won't be able to get it. I'll talk to you guys later.